Hey everybody, it's Chris Bumber here from CinemaCon, and guess what? I have the power of Grayskull. Okay, well maybe not quite, but I do have this this foam sword that they gave us at the Amazon MGM panel, where of course they showed a lot of footage from Masters of the Universe. So I actually saw about 20 minutes of this movie earlier today at a special event that they were having just outside of CinemaCon, and let me tell you, if you had told me when I was a kid that Masters of the Universe would be getting a movie like this, I would have never believed you. Sure, we have the canon movie, but nothing that was ever done on this scale, or that would have even been possible in the 80s. So all the footage that I saw was very impressive. So Nicholas Galitzine stars as He-Man, or as we see him in the movie, young Adam, who has a regular job on Earth, doesn't remember his past as Prince Adam, and what happened to his parents. The footage that I saw, you actually see his father, the king, fall as Man-at-Arms tries to defend him and He-Man's mother from an attack by Skeletor. Doesn't go over so well for any of them, although Idris Elba's Man-at-Arms really gets some great action sequences. It cuts ahead 17 years to Adam working some kind of dull corporate job, but he does have his trusty sword with him, which actually gets him arrested by some cops who call him Highlander. More on that movie a little bit later. He's rescued by Teela, and then we actually saw some footage of him full-on in action as He-Man fighting. So yes, the footage that I think has dropped so far in the trailers does make it seem like Prince Adam is kind of helpless and funny, but no, he becomes full-on He-Man by the end, and it looks pretty awesome. I'm very excited to see this one. But another swordplay movie that is very exciting coming out soon is Highlander. So the movie's only halfway done shooting, but they did bring us some footage from the film, and we saw glimpses of action. It wasn't really a full trailer because I don't think they had enough to show a trailer of, but it looks like John Wick, but with swords, and I mean that in a really good way. It has the same kind of polished visual sheen of the last couple of John Wick movies, very Chad Stahelski. Henry Cavill looks great as Connor McLeod, and he's actually doing an authentic Scottish accent, unlike Christopher Lambert, I guess is what you say. I'm from Quebec, where it's French, so we said Christopher Lambert, but Christopher Lambert's Scottish accent was never all that good. Cavill's is better. We also saw a bit of Russell Crowe as Ramirez and Dave Bautista as the Kurgan, and man, this looks like it might be Amazon's biggest movie ever. It's cool to see them put all this money into like a pretty hardcore R-rated action movie. I think that they found the right home for it. But another movie that's coming, and I can't believe it's coming, is Spaceballs 2, or as this title was revealed by Mel Brooks himself, Spaceballs the New One. We didn't see a ton of footage, but we did see some, which saw the return of Rick Moranis as Darth Helmet. Seems like he hasn't missed a beat. It really looks like they're riffing on the sequel trilogy for Star Wars, particularly The Last Jedi, with Bill Pullman's Lone Star really having a look of the old Luke. But actually, Lewis Pullman is not playing kind of a Kylo Ren-esque figure. It seems like he's more of a swashbuckler, but Keke Palmer is definitely playing a Rey-like character. In fact, she's dressed almost exactly like her. Oh, and Josh Gad is seemingly of Barf's species. So I'm excited to see that one, and people in the audience were going crazy. Tons of other action movies on the way from Amazon MGM. A Cult Is My Passport, which is directed by Gareth Evans. It stars Sope Dirisu. Very much done in the John Woo style, with him handling two guns, ultra R-rated, very stylized, meant for theaters, unlike Havoc, which went to streaming, which is too bad. As not great as Havoc was, I do wish I'd seen it on a big screen. A Cult Is My Passport looks amazing. Also, David Leitch has a new movie coming out called How to Rob a Bank. We saw a little bit of footage from that one, and it's about a gang of YouTubers who rob banks, led by Nicholas Hoult, who are chased after by an FBI agent, played by John C. Reilly, and a hacker, played by Zoe Kravitz. Looks like also there's a lot of action, stunts, and comedy in this one, and Nicholas Holt's character, you find out that he's motivated by wanting revenge against the banks for the death of his son. And a lot of fighting in it too, so it's nice to see Nicholas Hoult as a good guy, because of course we're used to seeing him as Lex Luthor now, I think. Oh, and if you've seen him recently with his bleached blonde hair, it's for this movie. And of course, another huge movie that's coming is The Thomas Crown Affair with Michael B. Jordan and Adria Arjona. So Jordan was there, showed the first trailer. Looks very much kind of like the 1999 Thomas Crown Affair movie, but with big action. More of a James Bond movie in some ways, with Thomas Crown getting into, fight sequences and big escapes. I mean, it looks like the scale for this one is massive, but there's also a lot of romance, and the relationship between him and Adria's character is very much kind of what you would expect and similar to what was in the Pierce Brosnan movie. Although Michael B. Jordan, when he presented it, said that while the Pierce Brosnan version was the first version of Thomas Crown that he said, he was just as influenced by the Steve McQueen version from the 60s. So while Michael B. Jordan did say that Thomas Crown Affair, the Pierce Brosnan version, was one of his favorite movies as a kid, he said that he did go back and watch the 1968 Steve McQueen version, and he said it was only when he saw that movie that the concept of what he wanted this to be really clicked. And again, it looks like a massive movie. It's coming out in March next year, and I think they're hoping that it's going to be the next Project Hail Mary. We'll see. Okay, last but in my opinion least, we saw some footage from I Play Rocky. So I think everybody who's watching this video and knows who I am knows that I am a massive Sylvester Stallone fan, and I was pretty excited to hear that Peter Farrelly was doing a movie about the making of Rocky, because of course Stallone's story of how he made Rocky is one of the great grassroots stories in Hollywood history. It looks great, and the actor playing Rocky also looks very much like Sylvester Stallone, but the voice did not sell me. It sounds like he's doing a Sylvester Stallone impersonation. I mean, he's talking like this the whole time. And if you're a Stallone fan, you know that's not really the way he talks. He sounds like that as Rocky, but he doesn't sound like that as Sylvester Stallone. So, I don't know, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So, that for me was the only sour note of this presentation, but boy, it was great. I saw a lot of stuff. I am very tired, so maybe I'm going to take a quick trip to the casino and then off to bed, but back tomorrow with a lot more from CinemaCon.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.